Start again.
Start all over.
15 seconds.
Okay. Alex. Alex.
And we are live again.
Again.
So this is just a live reaction to what has been happening in Eastern Cape.
Yep.
Malema hasn't got his sentence, and it seems like he's getting 5 years. 5 years. Let's just watch the video real quick and do a live reaction to that. Just by way of introduction, I'm Peyton J. Dennison, as you've seen by the intro. This is my associate Rob, who's been in the field getting this news. I was busy with the presentation in the morning, so I couldn't really attend to this particular sentencing, but Rob has got all the details for us. And yes, we are ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
Ready to rock and roll. So let's get straight into it here. There we go. D.
This judgment or sentence, after careful consideration, and I can show you I have done
So this is
free of any
magistrate.
interference. This judgment or sentence is the sentence of this court and
Magistrate
this court
Olivier.
alone.
But now what we mentioned about Magistrate Udifir is that this is quite peculiar. You know, people get convicted every single day, and they get sentenced every single day.
Yeah.
And you don't hear the magistrate saying that this is my decision and my decision alone.
No.
So the question is then, why is she emphasizing that point?
No, I think she was trying to, move away from the position of bias. You know, she has been biased. And then
Are you saying that as a matter of fact?
No. As a matter of fact, she has been biased in most occasions, right? So, and her conduct is not necessarily clean. You know, she. I feel like as time went by, closer to this sentencing, you know, she had her checks and balances. You know, but then there were rumors that she gets instruction from AfriFram and other things. You know, because there are certain things that she asked for an adjournment to say, let me go look at this. And she comes back and then she's unsure of what she has read herself. That's okay for me.
Yeah.
But then yesterday's comment was just unnecessary to say, when counsel was advancing reasons that this case, obviously, we know that was opened by AfriForum.
Yes.
And then counsel was just saying this is politically motivated by AfriForum.
Certainly, yes.
Yeah, you know, the way she reacted was just uncommon. She just reacted, say, leave AfriForum out of it. And then
Why it seems like she's protecting AfriForum, leave them out of it.
Yes, AfriForumers are not a party here. You know, they're complaining the state took over the case, no problem. Because she just said, leave AfriForum out of this, and then she said nothing. Even counsel this morning was telling her that, you know, you were misdirected. And then if we are to look closer into that conduct, it's very questionable. But counsel was like, for the benefit of our client, because we're not here to argue that, like we are here to argue that
Just leave to
over
appeal.
Let's leave it.
So this is the sentence that he received.
Yeah.
In respect of count 1, you are sentenced to a period of 5 years imprisonment. In respect
I like his face.
Why?
Unfazed.
Yeah, he's
Unfazed.
Yeah, no. There is, unfortunately, I'm not sure if we can catch the video here, where he said, like step by step in an interview to say, like he predicated that he's going to be found guilty.
Yes, because
Then
he said it was.
And then he said they are going to appeal. They, you know, everything that was planned and executed on this day was what he said in that interview.
So he predicted this event.
Yeah.
So what he's hearing now is no surprise.
No, he's not surprised.
He knows. He's ready.
No, he knows.
So he's stoic. He's strong. There
Yeah,
he is.
no. He's been saying the racist magistrate will send a strong message to him.
of count 2, you are sentenced to a period of 2 years imprisonment.
So 2 years imprisonment.
In respect of count 3, you are sentenced to 20,000 rand or to undergo 6 months imprisonment.
Obviously, that
In
was
respect of count 4, you are sentenced to 20,000 rand or to undergo 6 months imprisonment. In respect of count 5, you are sentenced to pay a fine of 20,000 rand or to undergo 6 months imprisonment. In terms of Section 280, subsection 2 of Act 51 of 1977, the court orders that the
Yo, I always just hate when magistrates and lawyers do that. Just for the viewers, that every act has a short name.
Yeah.
It's usually like the last or the second last section, saying that this is the Criminal Procedure Act of 1991.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to say Act 43 of what.
love doing that.
It has a name, you know.
Yeah, it has
I remember
its full
people
name.
used to say the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa,
Yeah, the
Act 106
Constitution.
of what.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes,
it's the it's the 1996 Constitution.
Yes.
Dad.
No, they do that.
So every single act has a name,
Yeah.
and that name is like abbreviated. It will say that these are the company regulations / 2011. That's it. You know, you don't need to give that long thing.
sentence imposed in respect of counts 2, 3, 4, and 5 run concurrent with the sentence imposed in respect of count 1.
Yeah. So essentially, what that means is that the 2 years and all of those 6 months, etc., they are not going to be 5 years, then plus 2 years, and then plus all of these things, which effectively would be like 8.5 years. No, all of them are going to run at the same time. So it will be 5 years maximum. Right? Yeah. If he doesn't get what's the name? Parole. Parole.
You may be seated. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, but we know.
So yes, that is the decision
be
that has been made. Discharging a firearm.
Yeah.
5 years.
Possession of illegal firearm and discharging it.
Just shooting in 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Imagine how many other people who are doing the same thing every day
5 years.
for 5 years.
No, I'm just thinking of this. Remember Oscar Pretorius' first sentence?
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
For blowing a woman's brains out.
Yes. Counsel for Anguga Itobi. He brought it up.
Yes.
To say in that case where a person died.
Not just, he shot her 4 times.
Yes.
You remember that what's her name? Mr. Roo. No, not Perry Roo. Gerry Nel. Gerry Nel had this picture of him at a firing range and a watermelon.
Yeah.
And he said that's what happened to River's head. And he got 6 years.
Yeah. 6
Now you are telling me just, bah!
Yes.
5 years.
Yes. As a celebratory shot. I mean, it was pointed in the sky. No, it did not even intend to shoot anyone.
No, just imagine this. We just recently had a case ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? 1.7 million rands of fraud.
Yeah.
6 years suspended sentence.
Yeah.
So I really think that, when it comes to restoring confidence in the law, there needs to be some consistency.
Some consistency.
To say, listen, if I'm stealing this thing,
Yeah.
right, I am going to get so many years.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I'm not saying take the discretion away. There might be extenuating circumstances, etc. But on the flip side, then you get things like this.
Yeah. The magistrate was insinuating that, he's against of a politician.
Mm-hmm.
She kept on going and saying he has a lot of following.
Mm-hmm.
And then his conduct.
So he's like a leader.
Yes. So if the court is lenient towards him,
Yes.
then his supporters will emulate
Will emulate what he's doing.
Will imitate what he's doing. And I think the court must, counsel also, the state had its own case. But I think counsel made good points. They told the magistrate, you are being misdirected in all fronts, in all avenues. You are speaking about political party, political leaders, but this is a person. It's not the EFF that's been sentenced here. He is Malema. Yes, maybe in his position as CIC.
Yes.
But he's still his own person.
But it's like penalizing someone for being poor, penalizing someone for being colored, penalizing someone for being EFF leader.
That is what I was
I'm looking at your position and I'm penalizing you.
Just because
of that. Even though that is not a crime.
Yeah. Even though it's not.
I'm here to be penalized for the thing I did wrong, which is to discharge this firearm, possess, etc. Yet you are penalized, you are adding things for things that are not wrong.
Yes.
So the fact that I'm CIC, the fact that I'm president of the ANC, the fact that I'm it doesn't mean that you must add make it worse. No.
So the court was policing itself because even at some point the council had to get up and say, but the state never said that.
Yes. So it seems like he was being prosecuted by the court, not by the state.
Not by the state.
Not by the state.
Yeah. So it was like one man fighting two people at the same time.
No, that's very, very unfair.
It is unfair for him. So it is unfair for him. So hence I'm of the view that if this has to go to a different court, which it is going to a different court, a different judge will come to a different conclusion. A different judge. Because another thing is, we don't have a similar case of this magnitude with the same similar facts.
Yes. So it was just him.
So it was just him.
No, it's a tough one.
Hence, the council is saying, we respect you as magistrate, but we feel like different people sitting can come to a different conclusion because it can't be that 5 years in prison for firing. Sure, and the state was asking for 15 years. We understand the law. The law is saying discharging of illegal firearm. I think minimum sentence is 15 years. But the state was like but also the state was like the state knew this. This thing is like predicate. The state was not prepared for their leave of appeal.
Because they knew it was...
Yes, they knew that he was guilty. The sentencing will be there.
Yes.
And then when they were given an opportunity to present their argument against the appeal, they only spoke for...
So essentially then just to let listeners know, right after his sentence, he exercised his right in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act to immediately ask for leave to appeal.
Correct.
So instead of going to jail, you say, I think that there's prospects of another court coming to a different decision.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. And I'm asking for permission to appeal. That's what leave to appeal is. Yeah. Leave to appeal is not the appeal itself.
No.
It's permission to do so.
Yeah.
And then she granted it based on the sentence, but not the verdict. So she's saying, I doubt they'll come to a different decision on the verdict, but maybe on the sentencing.
Maybe on the sentencing.
So that's more or less where we are. But he was ready for it. He was ready. But then there's also other precautions he made. So this is the cool thing about this Julius Malema thing.
Yeah.
He was ready for every possible outcome.
Yeah.
So if he was going to get no sentence, he was going to walk out, no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
If he was going to get leave to appeal, right, he would then carry on, make the appeal.
Correct.
If the leave to appeal was denied, what was he going to do?
No, he was going to petition the High Court.
Mm-hmm. And he had a legal team there.
Yes, a legal team there
he
with papers.
Right there, they were ready. Everything was ready.
Everything was ready.
Yes.
They were ready in Bishop, in the High Court, and then they were also ready in in Concord.
In the Concord in
They were
Joburg.
saying that if they can't get a judge in High Court in Bishop, they need an alternative High Court,
Yes.
which can hear this matter as a matter of jurisdiction.
So they were then going to apply
consent to
direct
jurisdiction.
access
Yes, direct access
to the
a
Concord.
different court.
Wow.
You know?
You see, this. So he had 3 legal teams moving simultaneously,
It was-
ready for
yes,
every single one.
ready for everything.
You see,
so
guys.
they were ready. Like they were ready. They were saying he is not going to see the
Not today.
Not today.
The
He's not
commander-in-chief
sleeping
is
today.
sleeping at home
Yes, no, he's going home with his wife. No, he's going home with his wife. No.
So then, Rob, what he did is this. Right after it, we get here, and then this is the video on
Yeah,
Facebook.
this is the video on Facebook where
Let me
he's
just
saying the
see.
magistrate is a racist.
Hey, where's it? Wait. This is a short.
Racism down,
Yeah,
down, down, racism down.
Down racism.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, our leader.
So this guy here in the back, this one, is he that one that translates for Obama?
no. Looks like him, but no.
For a moment there, I thought that he was doing the sign language interpretation.
No.
Okay, let's see.
The national chair, DSG,
Is this his wife?
TG,
This one.
Yeah. that is
and
his wife,
Deputy
man.
President.
Oscar Ramaima,
Yeah.
Our parents who are here, our pastors,
A lot of people were
traditional leaders,
I see. There's
leadership
Muslims,
of
there's
the youth
Jews.
Even the
command,
Polokwane gangster cartel.
our family members
who they
who
are
are here.
What's he saying? This guy?
We support the fact that today was not an easy day, but at the end of the day, the fighters emerged victorious because the ground forces have always stood firm behind the logo of the EFF. We want to salute you, the ground forces, for always being there.
Tell me something.
From
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking in the background there,
Yeah.
and obviously different religions wear different hats. I'm
Yeah.
seeing this one here wearing a yarmulke.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Jewish or
Yeah.
Hebrew Israelite. There's a Muslim guy there. They're obviously Christian. How big is the EFF following?
Yo, it is big. I mean, different church leaders came through today.
Yes. So no, it's massive. It's
You know,
massive.
it is massive. I mean, old people came through. Church leaders from.
I saw the
across-
crowd outside. Yes, it was crazy, you know.
So they came through, and then I think I think the one that is wearing the thing there
Which thing?
was interviewed. That one, you see
This
that one? That yes.
That's a yarmulke.
Yes,
You call it
that-
a thing.
yes,
Hey,
that's
it's
the
anti-Semitism.
Yes,
it looks like, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, he was interviewed, and then he said they knew that they knew the verdict.
Yes.
Yes, but
'Cause he had prepped them.
Yes, but they were ready. You know, there were so many people in court. I think for the first 45 minutes, as she was busy going, reading her judgment, and then members start leaving to start preparing because they knew what was coming.
Okay. No, they were quite ready.
No,
and
they
let's move, carry on.
Yeah, let's.
2018 until today,
So he is just saying
they
that
thought
the magistrate is a
you were going
racist.
to be tired, only to find that you have an appointment with the future, and you are not going to be discouraged by a white magistrate who kept us here for so many years. She kept us here
7
for
years
so
now.
many
Yeah,
years
8 years.
and comes back and blame us for disturbing the courts. We did not come to court on our own.
Yes. So
She invited us to the court and we responded. You know, if you don't come to court, you get arrested. If you come to court, they say you are disturbing court. Therefore, you must go to prison for disturbing court. So we don't know what to do anymore. But that was not the law. That was racism speaking. Magistrate Oliver is a racist of note. And she must know that in her sleep, that she's a racist and she's possibly a member of AfriForum. That's why when you mention
So this lady,
yeah,
obviously she's a South African citizen.
yeah, Olivia.
She's got freedom of association. As a magistrate, she still has the right to vote.
Yeah, she still has a right.
Like, she still has the right to vote. She's still got freedom of association, etc.
Yeah.
And AfriForum is closely linked with Solidarity VF.
Yeah, VF.
In fact, the colors are similar.
Yeah,
You know, in
very
fact,
similar.
let's just see AfriForum. AfriForum.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, there.
It's the green
Yeah.
and orange.
Yeah, check the other one.
Solidarity. There we go. Okay, this one is no, but there is one with the green, man. I know I've seen this
Yeah, from what I remember.
with those colors. Here's it.
Yeah.
Here's it.
Yeah. You see?
This is
The
practically
same.
AfriForum.
It is.
Ne?
It
And
is.
then we've got VF Plus.
Yeah. Same.
You see,
Yeah.
this khaki and green.
Yeah.
This khaki and green.
Yeah.
It's by no mistake.
Yeah. No,
it's by
but
no mistake.
it is by no mistake.
know?
It's not just a design thing. No, it's very intentional.
So if you are voting VF, you're affiliated to AfriForum, you're affiliated to in fact, no, here's another one.
Which one?
I just want to see the colors here.
Orania.
I just want to see the colors. Just the colors.
No, it is green
I know-
and orange.
No, it's blue and orange, this one. This is that old Dutch flag. You see,
this
this green
this
and,
is the old one.
you know,
Yeah.
this Oranje South Africa. It's this got this little guy that does everything for himself. You know, say what you want about this community. They are doing great things.
No, they are.
All by themselves,
All
like
by
the little
themselves,
thing says
without
over
government.
there. Without government, that's right. I heard they also don't vote
Yeah.
in local government elections.
No,
they only
they
do their
don't.
own thing.
They don't. They do their own things.
Saying no, that's fine. And by the way, to anyone who knows, like in terms of the constitution, every single community that's a religious community, that's a racial community, whatever, can establish their own community.
Yeah. No.
Just like Orania. There
Yeah.
can be a Xhosa Orania,
Yeah.
there can be a Jewish Orania,
Yeah.
there can be a
Yeah.
Afrikaans Orania,
Yeah.
there can be a Zulu one.
Yeah.
You've got the right.
Yeah.
You've got
so
the right.
people must stop this thing of saying Orania must be taken to
No,
court.
no. It's a
It's
right.
there.
It's
It's a
inside the
right.
constitution.
It is
It's
inside
inside.
the
I think it's,
Constitution.
if I, off the top of my head, section
Is it not-
235.
Yeah, I think 232, 235.
Yes.
of the Constitution.
Oh, why is my images there? I would go into Losa, but this is just fast.
So I think it's not 232.
Let's just see Constitution of South Africa. 232 and 23. Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh no,
there
it's
it is.
235.
235.
It's 235.
Yeah.
Here we go. So the text of 235 is as follows.
Yeah. So it's not ego, it's a right.
No, it's not ego. It's not
No,
ego.
it's not
It's a
ego.
right that they have inside the constitution. I remember when they were doing the interim constitution and the final constitution.
Yeah.
These were talks at CODESA. Like, listen,
Correct.
if we wanted, could we secede and do our own thing?
Yeah.
And it was put in there. You
Yeah.
know,
No, it
it's
was.
taking forever. But essentially, what it says there is that the right of South African people as a whole to self-determination, as manifested by the Constitution, does not preclude, within the framework of the right, recognition of the notice of the right of self-determination of any community sharing a common cultural or language heritage
Yeah.
within the territory of the country
Yeah.
or in any other way. So that's the right that they've exercised, saying we are a cultural group, etc. However, I read the constitution. This is the problem with joining EFF and you can't read Afrikaans.
Yeah.
You can't understand
What
your
are they
own
saying?
enemy.
What is their
I've read that
constitution
constitution. The constitution,
Yeah.
because you see, even though you have this right, language and culture
Yeah.
are the factors,
Yeah.
not race.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't go and say I'm making a community only for guys,
No.
the city, and I'm making a community only for
No,
white
no,
people. No. Inside their constitution for the Oranje Beweging, there's a clause there that says Afrikaners van mees Europese afstammeling.
What does that mean?
Exactly. You see,
What are these?
what it means is Afrikaners of majority European descent.
Oh, okay.
So not even colored.
Not even colors.
Even though they are the largest Afrikaans population, can go to a right.
Yes, but they're only European descent.
Yes. So there's a language part, there's a cultural part, yes, but there's also a racial part.
Okay.
But that's an issue for another one.
Yeah.
You know, all the best to Malema there. You know, wish things go well for him. But it was quite a blow. But the nice thing about it is that he was prepared.
No, he was prepared.
Properly
Yeah, he
prepared,
was prepared.
you know?
You know what they say. It's delay tactics. He might, the Supreme Court or the High Court might come to a different conclusion.
Yes.
Because what he said is that whatever happens, he will only take the decision from Concord.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, then, thank you so very much, everyone, for watching.
you so
This will
much,
go live. Let it go. And then 2.